Hey guys, it's Rob here from Dodge and Fusky in for pluginboutique.com. I'm just going to be doing a short video on Devastor, showing how I would use it and some examples of what it's good for. Very quickly, first of all, I'll just show you a very quick demo I just slung together using it. So as you can hear, it's quite a kind of aggressive clipper sounding plugin. I'm just going to quickly show you how it would sound on a very basic kind of noise. So I'm just going to disable it for a second on this example I've got here. And then I'm going to play that same with it enabled. So it's pretty good at making quite complex distortion sounds. Obviously there's a lot of distortion effects out there that will easily do a kind of guitar pedal style kind of like fuzz overdrive, but to get that kind of tube distortion, this is a great plugin for that. So I'm just going to run through some of the settings on the plugin. It's actually a pretty quick plugin to get to grips with. I'll just run through some of the basic settings. Like I said, this isn't a full kind of manual on how to use it, but just how I would use it. So you've got a kind of a dynamic shaper here, which is basically a kind of works a bit like a compressor. Then you've got your preamp input here, a threshold at which point the distortion cuts in, a shape control, which it sounds a little bit like tweaking controls on multiband compressors in terms of it's not in terms of what it actually does, but like how it kind of sounds, and then different clipping styles. So it's quite visceral in kind of the different tones it gives. It's pretty versatile and it gives you very kind of nice wide sounds. It is a stereo unit, and then the main thing that takes up most of the GUI is the three filters. So you can use them however you want. You've got different modes, so you can obviously switch them off. You've got low pass, band pass, high pass, and band reject modes. And you've got resonance and width for each one, the cutoff point obviously, and then the volume of that filter. You've also got pre and post controls for where you want them to go before the other parts of the unit. There's also a bunch of really usable presets. I'll just randomly scroll through some stuff. So yeah, I mean it's as you can tell, it gives a lot of kind of nice kind of clippy sounds. I'm just going to have a quick play so you can hear how the filters would sound. So obviously this has got a low pass filter which is fairly open, which can be changed, and it looks like there's a high pass here, which was kind of closing it down, and let's put this on band pass. Should give you a fairly good idea of kind of the kind of sounds you can get out of it. So obviously using it on kind of bass noises is a great example. Okay, I'll just very quickly show you with and without on this sound here. And again, it's also quite useful for fattening up sounds that are already quite distorted anyway as well. So I've got this noise here, then with it, for just getting a little bit of extra bite. So it's pretty versatile like that. The other thing I found that's quite handy on is I've got, for example, an impact sound here, and I find it makes quite a useful filter as well for kind of thinning stuff out if you want to make sort of dive risers. So quite good for filtering things into kind of unusual ways of getting white noise out of sounds. And also another thing I found it's really handy on is if you've got an atmosphere like this, it's quite good for making kind of like moody tones out of atmospheric sounds. So yeah, like I say, pretty versatile unit, very quick to use, which I like, easy, clean interface, and for those kind of quite gritty sounding rather than just straight out of fuzz, you know, quite clipped, like sort of fat, beefy tones, it's a really useful unit and very versatile. So yeah, hopefully this video has been of use of showing some of the applications it's good for. This has been Rob from Dodge and Fusky and for pluginboutique.com.